It's so strange talking to you without a mug of coffee in my hand. But if I'm patient, something tells me there may be coffee in my future. So today, what we're talking about is I want patience and I want it now. No, I'm not at home in my kitchen. It's just a blank wall behind me. I figured it'd be better than the rest of this place. I won't even tell you where I am. So let's talk about patience, okay? You don't have to be patient, but it sure makes waiting easier. Patience can make such a big difference in your life. That's why I write about it so much in my word art, because patience is more than a virtue. Patience is a coping skill that can make the difference in your life of being happy or being miserable. So, what is patience? You know, I love to start out with definitions. So, let me give you a definition. Patience is the quality of bearing annoyance and provocation and misfortune or pain or misery or upset without losing your temper, without complaining, without getting irritated, without being miserable, and being willing to like suppress all that stuff, that restlessness inside of you or the annoyance without being nasty, even when you're confronted with a delay or something upsetting. Okay, dictionary definition: the ability to remain calm when dealing with a difficult or annoying situation, task, or person. Because this has a big effect on relationships too. We'll get to that in a minute. Patience, or sometimes we call it forbearance, is the ability to endure difficult circumstances, such as perseverance in the face of delay, right? Or tolerance of provocation without responding in annoyance or anger, which is more common, or forbearance when you're under strain, especially when faced with long term difficulties. Hello, we are in a long term difficulty time right now. Patience is the level of endurance one can have before negativity. It's also used to refer to the character trait of being steadfast and calm. Patience is actually a coping skill. So when I say I want patience and I want it now, that is not coping with the way things are at all. Look, you don't have to be patient, but it sure makes the waiting easier. I had t-shirts made like that because I really like that saying. So look, frustration happens every day. Impatience happens every day. Maybe there's a long line and you're in a hurry. Maybe there's a red light and you want to just get to your destination. Maybe you're lost and you don't feel like you should have gotten lost. Maybe you're dealing with people who are slow or people who aren't doing things the way you would do things. Maybe your computer isn't booting up fast enough, or you're seeing a lot of ads before everything you're trying to find. Maybe you're dealing with telemarketers and your phone keeps ringing and disturbing you, but it isn't really for you. Maybe things aren't happening fast enough for you. Maybe you want results now and they're not happening that quickly. Maybe your food is taking too long to cook or to bake, or it's taking too long to cool and you want to get to it. Life is full of frustrations. Maybe your hair won't dry fast enough. Maybe you fixed something and it still doesn't work. Maybe you've been rejected. Maybe you've been disappointed. Come on, you know, all these things happen 1,000 times in the course of a day. It is not the circumstances of your life. It is the way you hold those circumstances, what you make them mean, and what you do about them. Haven't you noticed that some days everything can go wrong, but you're still in a great mood? Yeah. Haven't you noticed that some days your partner or friend is a real jerk? They say stupid things, they do stupid things, they annoy you, but you love them anyway, and you kind of laugh at it. And other days, the smallest thing they can do drives you out of your mind until you want to just scream. Frustration happens daily. Patience, by the way, is not passivity, however you say that, passivity. It is not being passive. It is not being resigned. Patience is power. Because when you can have patience, just because you decided you wanted to have patience, you are in control. And isn't that what you want? You want to find more and more things around you that you can actually be in control of. And you may not be able to control the circumstances of life, but with patience, you can certainly control how you act about them. And by the way, it's not your fault. I mean, we live in a time when we've been spoiled. We're used to everything happening so fast. Remember when your teacher would say, do a book report, you'd have to go to the library and look in the encyclopedia, or maybe you'd write away for materials and you'd have to wait a week until the mail brought the information you wanted. Nowadays, you want information, you Google it. You want to know something, you just go to your computer or your phone. I mean, information literally is at your fingertips, and I can't snap, but it's that fast. Everything happens fast. There's instant food, instant milk. We have instant gratification. We have email, we have Google. Everything happens so fast. We're spoiled. That's all. We're spoiled. But you know what? We still have to have patience if we're going to make it in this world, because what isn't instant is human. Humans are not instant. Humans take time. Sometimes people have to think about things. Sometimes people are not fast to move. Patience. Patience is an emotionally freeing practice of watching and waiting and knowing when it is time to act. And we've been used to everything happening so fast that we're not willing to wait. And hey, that has a big impact on your relationships. Because when you have patience, you can kind of step back and regroup instead of aggressively reacting and acting and hastily giving up on something or someone who's frustrating you. You're able to give time and meaningful thought to a relationship and what's going on in it without giving in and giving up. In fact, patience is liberating because it gives you the time to make smarter choices. And patience is a choice. When you choose patience, you are waiting to see what's going to happen instead of jumping to a conclusion. Instead of getting upset, you're letting the circumstances be the way they are, knowing that there is something you can do down the road. And my experience is when I don't get impatient and I don't flip out, everything seems to work out just fine. This morning being a case in point, I didn't have any coffee for my coffee talk. I'm staying in a resort right now. And in this particular resort, hello, do they not know it's 2020? There is no coffee maker, no coffee machine. And for people like me who get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, there's no coffee ready in the other room. So I had no coffee. Now, at first, my reaction was, excuse me, it's 5 o'clock. It's 5:30. It's 6 o'clock. Coffee time. Morning coffee with Sandy is about to start. I need my coffee. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to do it today without coffee. And I got about halfway done. And guess what? My significant other walked into the room holding a cup of coffee for me. Where he got it, I still don't know, but I got my coffee. And I was patient and I didn't get upset. Frequently, when you want to get upset with your children, with your spouse, with your partner, with your friends, but you give yourself and them time to let it settle in, whatever it is, usually you find out things work out pretty well. It allows us to delay gratification by choice. It becomes our choice, which means we have power over it, and we're allowed to feel good and comfortable with it. Patience is not just a gift you give to other people. It's a gift you give to yourself. Because you know how good it feels when you're not inside. It gives you time to ascertain what people's deeper motives were. What are other possibilities that could happen? What are other ways to take care of whatever it is that didn't work? And sometimes when we make a mistake and we have patience about how we're going to solve the problem that's created, we come up with an even better way of taking care of things than we had to begin with. Judith Orloff, she's a doctor of psychiatry, wrote a great article. You might want to look it up. Judith Orloff in Psychology Today on patience. And she actually gives you a way to practice patience if this is a tough one for you. And I know for a lot of you, patience is like really big. So here's what she suggests. She suggests that you go out and get yourself in a line. On a day like today, voting might be the perfect way to do it. But you purposefully put yourself in a place where you are forced to wait. Except instead of getting frustrated and upset, your mission is to figure out things to do to make waiting something positive. Like, say something nice to the people who are waiting with you. Like, think of all the things you have to do in the next few days and maybe even make out a list. You can find things to do while you're waiting. Waiting can be a very positive time for you, a very positive practice. So what can you do to keep from going nuts when you're waiting? Yeah. Practice patience by putting yourself in a situation that demands patience or going nuts, like being in a long line. You can do this. You can do this. Practice patience. Patience. You don't have to be patient, but it sure makes the waiting easier. And personally, I want patience and I want it now. I'll see you the next time. Send me some questions. We'll talk about that. See you soon. Bye-bye.